Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi tasliman kathira. اختص الله برسالة واصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم ثم الصلاة والسلام تطرى على أجل العالمين قدرا. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We once again continue with our guidance through the kalam of Allah Azza wa Jal, which is the Quran. You have learned and you have heard over 40 years, or the duration of your time in TMOA, the Muslims of America. You have heard who gave you permission. Who gave you permission, and then you can fill in the blank. Who gave you permission to travel? Who gave you permission to look at TV? Who gave you permission to fill in the blank? And this is very important to understand not only the ideology and the psychology of cults, but it's also to understand the usloob of the people who are tyrants. Usloob means the characteristics and traits. Usloob. Stipulating permission when it's not even required. It's a transgression that every single person who involves themselves in dhulumat and oppression of people does in every single zaman, every single era. Because Fir'aun stipulated permission to the magicians when after Sayyidina Musa alayhi salatu wasalam came to them and he gave them dawah through his staff, which looked like magic to them, but it was actually the ruh of an actual snake inside of it. And Allah Azza wa Jal highlights this particular incident when He mentions, وَمَا تِلْكَ بِيَمِينِكَ يَا مُوسَى, what is in your right hand, O Moses? And this is the beginning of his ta'aleem wa tadriba, his training and his education of this particular da'wah through his staff, his staff. And remember, it was Fir'aun who set up this particular meeting, and he wanted to basically grandstand Sayyidina Musa. Sayyidina Musa was giving him private dawah, and that's another one of the usloob, one of the characteristics of people who are in cults and people who are involved in tyranny and oppression. They always take something that is small, and they always take something that is microscopic and they magnify it. They take something that should be magnified and they make it microscopic, or they minor in their major and they major in their minor. You will never find them to be balanced. We are the Ahlul Wasatiyah, as Allah Azza wa Jal said in the Quran, وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا, as we have mentioned before, and we have made you a community that is balanced. We are the Ahlul Wasatiyah. There is a book written called Al-Wasatiyah, literally, the people in the middle. So anyway, they were given da'wah through the magicians that, of course, Fir'aun set up. And the da'wah did not work. See, the magicians was meant to expose. They was meant to expose Sayyidina Musa, alayhi salatu wasalam. But whenever you try to expose people, it's called fadih. Whenever you try to expose people, even though Sayyidina Musa was given Fir'aun, he was giving him nasih. He was giving him advice. But Fir'aun turned nasih into fadih. Right? And so what's so important about this is that what happened is it always works in reverse. If you come to them humble, they will be arrogant. If you come to them with aggression, they will act like they're humble. It's pretentious. They'll always try to do the opposite. If they try to be silent, when they know when they want to speak, and when they want to speak, they will spot. You will always see them being opposite. So Fir'aun set up this meeting, and the meeting did not go as he planned, because Wallahu khairul makirin, Allah Azza wa Jal is the best of planners. And so the magicians actually, they followed the da'wah and the aqidah and the minhaj of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. And when they followed this da'wah and they believed in the tawheed of Allah, Fir'aun said this:
قال آمنتم له قبل أن آذن لكم إنه لكبيركم الذي علمكم السحر فلسوف تعلمون لأقطعن أيديكم وأرجلكم من خلاف ولأصلبنكم أجمعين.
Fir'aun said, who gave you permission to believe in this? Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. And then he said, how dare you even believe in this when I did not give you permission? And then he said, he must be your master who taught you magic. You see how this turns around? Ja'far and Mubarak and Hanif, these people, don't talk to them because these people must be your sheikh, they must be your murashid, they are your enemies. And then Fir'aun threatens them. So what happens? What happens after? What keeps people from engaging from the people that try their best to be upon the Quran and the Sunnah? Is you threaten them. They're your enemies. We're going to kick you out. You're going to lose your family. What did Fir'aun say? Fir'aun said, I will certainly cut off your hands and feet on opposite sides, then crucify you all. So basically, he will pull their limbs apart. For why? Believing in the true da'wah of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. And this is the usloob that you see in TMOA and from their particular leaders. This is what you see. You will be punished if you look at R2F. You will be punished if you listen to any of the dawah of Hanif, or any of the dawah of Sheikh Mubarak, or any of the dawah of Sheikh Jafar, or any of the dawah of all of the people who are trying their best to follow the Quran and Sunnah and R2F, even though we may have our mistakes. And wallahi, we have our mistakes. Prophet ﷺ said, Kulli bani Adam khata, every single human being makes mistakes. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. That's what he said. Ila anbiya wa rasul, except the prophets and the messengers, of course, alayhi salatu wasalam ajma'een. So you will find this particular ayat is mentioned in the 26th surah in the Quran, Surah Ash-Shura, and it's the 49th verse. And this is the understanding of the Sahaba, because we have people who quoting things, as we've seen a document that went around by this individual. I don't know his name, and it's not important to me. But he adds, this is the Quranic proof. See, an individual can copy and paste, but is your proof the understanding of the companions and how the Prophet ﷺ taught it and how Allah Azza wa Jalla revealed it? Qala Allahu, qala Rasulu, fahum sahaba, inshallah. What Allah Azza wa Jalla said, what the Prophet ﷺ said, and what the Sahaba understood. Ridwanullahi ta'ala alayhim ajma'een. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi